OCN Volume 25 Number 11, November 1, 2025 Highlights. This podcast presents concise summaries of each of the articles and columns in this issue of OCN in the order they appeared in the paper. For details, please refer to the articles and columns, which are posted at ocn.me. The Palmer Lake Board of Trustees held several meetings in October to discuss various town matters. Key topics included the Buc-ee's annexation, the resignation of Mayor Pro Tem Amy Hutson, and litigation updates. During the special meeting, the board voted to hold an election regarding the Buc-ee's annexation on February 3 and a hearing on February 19. Public discontent was evident as many attendees voiced their opposition to the annexation process. Hutson resigned, saying that she had been defamed, accused of wrongdoing and sued, noting that the suit had been dismissed. The board struggled to appoint a replacement for Hutson, leading to further discussions and public comments. Litigation updates revealed dismissals of 2 lawsuits against the town, with ongoing appeals from some parties. Staff reports highlighted various town projects, including water department updates and budget preparations. The board approved several actions, including purchasing a used police vehicle and setting a budget hearing. Public comments during meetings emphasized accountability and community concerns regarding town governance. The next regular meeting is scheduled for November 13, with updates available on the town's website. A gathering of over 50 people took place at Woodmoor Barn on October 14 to discuss efforts against the proposed Buc-ee's Travel Center at I-25 and County Line Road. Speakers included representatives from Tri-Lakes Preservation Incorporated, local residents, and town officials, who shared updates on their campaign. Sean Sawyer highlighted that TPI, as a nonprofit, could not directly engage in recent recalls of Palmer Lake trustees but noted that a ballot initiative received more support than the recalls. Palmer Lake resident Jean Calesti announced a new recall effort against trustee Tim Caves, citing Caves' inappropriate remarks during a recent board meeting. David Parks emphasized the importance of engaging undecided voters about the Buc-ee's project, suggesting respectful conversations to address their concerns. Matt Beverly criticized the Palmer Lake Board for their recent vote on annexation, claiming it was influenced by legal advice favoring Buc-ee's. Water expert Roy Martinez warned that the Buc-ee Center could consume a significant portion of Palmer Lake's water supply, exacerbating existing water issues. Attorney Kat Gale reported that a lawsuit against the town had been dismissed but mentioned ongoing efforts to address open meeting violations. In conclusion, the community remains actively engaged in opposing the Buc-ee's project, with multiple recall efforts and concerns about local water resources at the forefront of discussions. The Lewis Palmer D38 Board of Education discussed various topics at their October 20 meeting. Monument Academy reported above-average test scores despite low participation in state assessments. The school has seen growth in its homeschool enrichment program, now serving 64 students. Financial updates revealed a restructuring and a focus on refinancing a significant bond by 2026. Plans for the Home School Enrichment Academy and Transitions Program facilities are under consideration. Board members emphasized the importance of community partnerships and reducing location options for programs. Recognitions included awards for school officials and a tribute to former Superintendent Ted Bauman. The next board meeting is scheduled for November 17, with ongoing discussions about program facilities. The Monument Academy School Board met in October to discuss financial appropriations and policy updates. Finance Director Laura Polan was recognized for achieving her Certified Administrator of School Finance certification. The board approved the appropriation of $2.2 million in Employee Retention Tax Credit, ERTC, funds for an academic proposal totaling $19,650. This proposal includes funding for class trips, after-school clubs, a digital message board, and an information day for 8th graders. Discussions about an athletic proposal led to postponement for further review of costs and program details. Survey results indicated strong interest in adding various high school sports, with specific requests noted. The board discussed startup and recurring costs for athletics, emphasizing the importance of these programs for families. A staff bonus of 5% was approved, funded by ERTC resources, to support returning staff amid budget constraints. The October count report showed MA's enrollment trends and highlighted the importance of accurate student accounting. Policy updates were unanimously approved, reflecting changes in language and procedures for various school policies. The next board meeting is scheduled for November 13, with agendas available online for public review. The D38 Parent and Community Advisory Committee met at Palmer Ridge High School to discuss board goals and access to background information. Principal Dr. Adam Frank highlighted unique programs at the school, including a college and career center, an outdoor learning center, and a legacy wall for student recognition. Board members discussed previous goals, emphasizing the importance of live streaming meetings and community engagement in board activities. The committee prioritized academic excellence, improved staff compensation, and financial transparency, with members providing feedback on statements related to these topics. The next meeting is scheduled for November 18, where a school tour will precede the discussion, inviting community involvement and feedback. At the recent Monument Town Council meeting, retiring Facilities Superintendent Ron Rathburn was honored for his 39 years of service, marking him as the longest-tenured employee in the town's history. The council unanimously approved 2 proclamations, including National Veteran Small Business Week from November 3 to 7, aimed at supporting veteran entrepreneurs with resources and business development opportunities. Additionally, Small Business Saturday was proclaimed for November 29, encouraging local holiday shopping and supporting the community's economy. The council also passed Ordinance No. 17/2025, which involves a real property transfer from El Paso County and an intergovernmental agreement regarding the new Santa Fe Regional Trail, facilitating necessary crossings for a nearby development. During public comments, John Howe expressed gratitude for the town's support of the Buc-ee, and Michael Weinfeld wrote on Monument Cemetery's history, while Aid S. Jerka thanked the council for its assistance during negotiations with Buc-ee's. The council entered a 2-hour executive session to discuss the town manager's employment contract before adjourning the meeting late in the evening. In the following meeting, the town engineer proposed updates to the Public Works and Engineering Department manual, which was unanimously approved to reflect new street design criteria. Lastly, the council addressed various financial matters, including renewing workers' comp insurance and discussing sales tax reporting issues, while also planning to advocate for a reconsideration of a planning commissioner's application to the Watershed District Committee. The Monument Planning Commission held a meeting on October 8 to review the Legacy at Jackson Landing development project, which is set to be a major commercial hub near the Monument Marketplace and I-25. The development plan, presented by Legacy Development Partners and Kimley Horn Associates, aims to create a shopping destination featuring a large national retailer and various mid-box and inline shops, along with significant infrastructure improvements. During the meeting, commissioners and staff discussed the project's compliance with local regulations, while residents raised concerns about building heights and their potential impact on neighborhood views and lighting. The proposal includes transportation enhancements, such as expanded access and improved traffic flow, as well as landscaping that prioritizes native plants and stormwater management designed for both function and aesthetics. Ultimately, the Commission unanimously recommended approval of the project, highlighting its thorough planning and alignment with community goals, while also announcing upcoming community events focused on safety and public engagement. During the Tri-Lakes Monument Fire Protection District meeting on October 22, the board reviewed the 2026 draft budget and announced Fire Chief Andy Kovacs's planned retirement at the end of that year. The budget presentation was delayed due to late audits, with expected total revenue around $24 million and operational expenses of about $21.794 million. Kovacs outlined key budget items, including employee screenings, a cost of living increase, and a new auditor that will save the district money. A public hearing on the proposed budget is set for November 12, where community feedback will be welcomed. Additionally, the board discussed a potential merger with the Black Forest Fire Rescue Protection District, highlighting collaborative efforts in emergency response. Financial updates revealed the district's revenue and expenses are on track, with a significant portion of property taxes already collected for the year. Concerns were raised about the profitability of the Wildland Deployment Program, emphasizing its role in staff training rather than revenue generation. The meeting concluded with updates on facility projects and a reminder of the next meeting scheduled for November 12 at Station 1. In October, the Woodmoor Water and Sanitation District Board outlined its process for completing the 2026 budget during a meeting that included various operational and financial reports. District Manager Jesse Schaefer proposed a budget workshop for October 23, emphasizing the need for board members to review the draft budget beforehand. The board also scheduled public hearings for November regarding the budget and potential rate increases, with a vote planned for December. Treasurer Dana Franzen reported that while receivables were down, other financial aspects remained stable, and a software issue affecting liabilities had been resolved. Operations Superintendent Dan LaFontaine provided updates on the Chilkat Ditch and noted that it would be shut down for winter by the end of October. Schaaf discussed the Pikes Peak Regional Water Authority study on indirect potable reuse, which could influence future water management strategies. LaFontaine also reported a low water loss of 3% for September and mentioned that Woodmoor Lake is expected to be filled by spring 2024. The meeting concluded with an executive session to discuss legal matters, with no actions taken afterward, and the next meeting is scheduled for November 17 at 1 p.m. The Monument Sanitation District Board convened in October to discuss the draft budget for 2026 and authorized the El Paso County Treasurer to collect delinquent accounts. District Manager Mark Parker highlighted key changes in the budget, including a reduction in janitorial costs and a 2.7% cost of living adjustment for wages. Director Shannon Clark pointed out that the previous budget had allocated funds for PFAS testing, which had not been conducted, raising concerns about health risks associated with these chemicals. Parker also noted anticipated lower revenue from tap fees due to delays in building projects, while expenses were estimated conservatively to avoid future amendments. The board's unanimous vote to collect delinquent accounts and the initiation of regular meetings regarding Beacon Light Road work were also significant outcomes of the meeting. The Donala Water and Sanitation District Board met in October to discuss the proposed 2026 budget and review financial reports from September. Acting General Manager Christina Hawker presented a budget that anticipates $6.8 million in operating revenue, with a 5% decrease in water sales compared to 2025. The budget also includes $4 million in non-operating revenue from developments and estimates total revenue at just over $11 million, factoring in a proposed 5% rate increase. On the expense side, operating costs are projected to rise by 5.4% due to inflation and increased electrical costs, with total expenses estimated at $9 million. Hawker noted that the board could discuss potential changes to the budget in November, with a final vote scheduled for December 9. In her financial report, Hawker indicated that water sales revenue was slightly below expectations, but there were no unexpected expenses in September. The recent open house was deemed successful, with most attendees surveyed preferring email communication for updates from the district. The board also held 4 executive sessions to discuss various legal matters, with no actions taken following these discussions. At the Triview Metropolitan District meeting on October 16, the board reviewed the proposed 2026 budget, which includes an increase in water delivery through the Northern Delivery System. The budget anticipates a small rise in water and wastewater fees, alongside additional revenue from tap fees and efforts to improve wastewater flow accuracy. District Manager James McGrady outlined plans for 1,000 acre-feet of water delivery at a cost of $9.99 per 1,000 gallons, with a proposed mill levy remaining at 21 mills. The board also discussed the need for an accessible playground design and confirmed that the public hearing for the budget will take place on December 11. Year-to-date, the district has generated nearly $4 million from 75 tap fees, with expectations for continued revenue from future commercial properties. New bank accounts for the Higbee Road project were approved to ensure financial transparency, with $500,000 already collected in developer fees. Water Treatment Superintendent Gary Potter reported on the need for well rehabilitation and ongoing issues with flow measuring equipment accuracy at the wastewater treatment facility. Lastly, the board's discussions included hiring a new public works inspector and an executive session to address legal matters related to water agreements. In October, the El Paso County Regional Loop Water Authority Board received a financial report from Corbin highlighting recent expenses and updates on project progress. Reported that the loop had received invoices totaling over $253,000 and noted that reimbursement for earlier expenses from the El Paso Board of County Commissioners was still pending. Board President Jesse Schaefer indicated that the loop's finances would remain tight until the reimbursement process is completed, while also suggesting invoicing participating water districts for their financial contributions. Patricia Hutchinson provided an update on the workflow, mentioning that title work for easements was underway and that design issues for the water treatment plant were being addressed. The meeting concluded with an executive session focused on legal advice regarding negotiations for the Sundance Pipeline and other project-related matters, with the next regular meeting scheduled for November 20. At its October 7 meeting, the El Paso Board of County Commissioners unanimously approved a contract for the Fox Run Regional Park Gazebo and Renovation Project. This project will involve dredging and lining 2 existing ponds with rubber, as well as rebuilding the gazebo to ensure ADA accessibility near the improved amphitheater. The contract for this renovation is valued at $1.4 million, with construction expected to commence shortly. Additionally, the board awarded a contract for the Northgate Boulevard and Struthers Road Drainage and Pond Project, which has received approval from various government levels and will cost over $3.4 million. BOCC meetings are held weekly and are open to the public, with options for live streaming available for those unable to attend in person. The Gleneagle Civic Association held a meeting on September 30 at Antelope Trails Elementary School. Board members discussed financial updates, noting a significant reduction in homeowners in arrears. Legal fees for updating covenants were highlighted as an opportunity for clarity and understanding. Centerpoint Management was hired for fair covenant enforcement, addressing various neighborhood issues. The Architectural Review Committee reported 60 requests, primarily for fences and sheds, since November 2024. Road and common area updates included visibility improvements and maintenance of open space trails. The board proposed an increase in annual dues to cover covenant enforcement and open space maintenance. Community members expressed concerns about the dues increase and the necessity of professional services. Efforts to improve communication and community participation in voting were discussed during the meeting. ONB emphasized the importance of maintaining common areas for the community's overall appeal. The meeting concluded with a call for community engagement and support for upcoming initiatives. On October 15, the Gleneagle Civic Association Board held a town hall at Antelope Trails Elementary School to discuss upcoming ballot measures for homeowners. Residents will vote on revised GCA covenants, a short-term leasing amendment, and an increase in annual assessment dues, with ballots mailed to 703 homeowners on October 16. Key details shared included that a 67% approval is needed for each measure to pass, and an unreturned ballot counts as a no vote. Board members highlighted that the current covenants, written in the 1970s and 80s, needed updates to comply with state law and reflect community needs. Changes to the covenants include a new mission statement, a cap on yearly assessments at $200, and a requirement for 80% approval for open space changes. Concerns were raised about communication issues regarding the voting process, prompting the board to encourage members to update their contact information. Discussions also covered the potential need for special assessments due to unforeseen circumstances, such as flooding, and the implications of unpaid assessments on voting rights. The GCA annual meeting is scheduled for November 12, where further discussions will take place regarding these important community measures. At the Woodmoor Improvement Association board meeting October 24, the board emphasized the importance of resident vigilance and announced its annual holiday lighting contest. Public Safety Director Brad Gleason reported incidents of vehicle break-ins in northwest Woodmoor, urging residents to lock their cars and secure valuables and take steps to prevent mail theft. Community Outreach Director Rick DePaiva shared details about the holiday lighting contest, where winners in 3 categories will receive a $100 credit on their electric bill. During the meeting, updates were provided on various community issues, including the need for board members and volunteers for the Northern El Paso County Coalition of Community Organizations, NEPCO, and the ongoing monitoring of covenant compliance. In short, the board encouraged residents to stay informed and engaged. Their next meeting scheduled for November 19, ahead of the Thanksgiving holiday. Corey Grundel expresses strong support for Jackie Burhans, a candidate for the D38 School Board. Grundel highlights Burhans' active role in the community, particularly through her Facebook group that shares information about the Lewis Palmer School District. Grundel notes that Jackie has been live blogging school board meetings for 5 years, ensuring transparency and accessibility for community members. He appreciates her ongoing involvement in school events and fundraisers, despite her child having graduated, showcasing her commitment to the district. In conclusion, Grundel urges the community to vote for Jackie Burhans, emphasizing her ability to manage taxpayer funds responsibly and support all students and staff. With the school board elections approaching on November 4, Leslie Hanks highlights Ginger Schaaf as a common-sense conservative candidate focused on parents' rights. Schaaf advocates for academic excellence and believes that educational trends should not detract from fundamental learning that parents prioritize. Schaaf supports safe spaces for girls in schools and opposes increasing property taxes, favoring legislative action for education funding instead. As a military spouse and a parent of 2 children in the district, Schaaf is deeply aware of the community's educational concerns and values American history and civics. Hanks urges families seeking a school board member who embodies traditional values and a commitment to American exceptionalism to vote for Ginger Schaaf. Heather Jacobson expresses shock at the falsehoods and animosity directed towards candidate Jackie Burhans. Jacobson highlights the emotional manipulation used by those spreading fear, noting that such tactics often provoke strong feelings rather than rational thought. Jacobson differentiates between persuasive and manipulative speech, emphasizing that the former is based on facts and mutual benefit, while the latter relies on deceit and self-interest. Jacobson's letter urges the community to be cautious of fear-mongering and to recognize the qualifications of Burhans as a candidate committed to public education. In conclusion, the author encourages voters to support Burhans in the upcoming election, advocating for a future that values transparency and integrity in education. Kerri Kilgore, a retired military member and community resident, expresses support for Jackie Burhans' candidacy for the District 38 School Board, emphasizing the importance of every voice being heard, especially children's. Kilgore says Burhans' commitment to representing all voices in schools stands out, as she aims to address the diverse needs of students rather than favoring one group over another. While some community members focus solely on LGBTQ rights in this election, Kilgore says Burhans believes the broader goal is to ensure all students' needs and perspectives are acknowledged. Kilgore says Burhans' extensive experience, compassion, and open-mindedness make her a valuable candidate, as she understands the challenges faced by local families through her work at Tri-Lakes Cares Food Bank. In conclusion, the letter highlights the necessity for school leaders who listen to all voices, and the author proudly supports Jackie Burhans for her inclusive approach to education. Living in Monument, Colorado, for over 3 years, Lieutenant Colonel Jessa Legal appreciates the community's strong schools and small-town atmosphere as an ideal environment to raise 5 children. As a graduate of the U.S. Air Force Academy and a member of the Air Force Reserves, Legal prioritizes service, integrity, and quality education, and strongly supports parental rights and school choice. Legal advocates for Ginger Schaaf for the District 38 School Board, as she embodies the qualities needed in a board member, bringing a unique perspective from her military family background and diverse school experiences. Legal says Schaaf's management experience highlights her leadership, problem-solving abilities, and commitment to integrity, ensuring that our children's needs will be prioritized in board decisions. Legal fully endorses Ginger Schaaf for the D38 School Board and encourages everyone to vote for Schaaf to enhance our community's educational landscape. Melissa May celebrates the Tri-Lakes area for its strong community spirit, excellent schools, and a shared commitment to conservative values. May says Ginger Schaaf, a conservative candidate for the school board, is a strong choice to represent families and uphold the area's positive legacy. May says Schaaf's platform emphasizes the safety and well-being of children, advocating for secure environments for all students, particularly girls, while promoting inclusivity. May adds that Schaaf also supports charter schools, low taxes, and increased parental involvement, drawing on her extensive experience as a military spouse to bring fresh ideas to the district. Residents of Monument are encouraged to support Schaaf in the upcoming election, as her vision and dedication position her as an ideal candidate for the future of local schools. Jessica McAllister, former director of D38 Innovative Programs, endorses Jackie Burhans for a position on the Board of Education in Lewis Palmer School District 38, expressing confidence in her capabilities. McAllister highlights Burhans' active participation in community engagements and her volunteer work, showcasing her commitment to enhancing schools and the community. Burhans is noted for her thoughtful approach and solution-focused mindset, which encourages dialogue and reflects her dedication to understanding the needs of the school community. McAllister emphasizes Burhans' ability to balance innovation with tradition as she respects community values while advocating for progressive changes that benefit students and educators. In conclusion, McAllister believes Burhans will be a strong advocate for the entire Lewis Palmer School District community, supporting the mission of every student, every day. Amy McKenzie notes that a recent school board candidate forum, candidates discuss their policy recommendations regarding gender inclusion in bathrooms and sports. Ginger Schaaf expressed her belief that individuals should use facilities based on their birth-assigned gender and opposed boys competing in girls' sports due to physiological differences. In contrast, Jackie Burhans emphasized the importance of elevating all students and adhering to legal regulations, though her response was seen as indirect. Schaaf's support for school choice resonates with the author, who appreciates her involvement in local education and her commitment to the Monument Academy community. Ultimately, The author supports Schaaf for the D38 School Board due to her investment in education and her business background, which could benefit the district's financial decisions. Karen McVeigh, a mother of 2 District 38 students, who graduated in 2023, expresses her support for Ginger Schaaf in the upcoming Board of Education election. McVeigh emphasizes the importance of maintaining educational excellence while avoiding distractions that affect schools nationwide. Schaaf is described as a common-sense conservative, a political newcomer, and an engaged mother who prioritizes low property taxes and educational funding. Her campaign focuses on protecting private spaces for girls in sports, supporting school choice, and ensuring age-appropriate content in school libraries. The letter concludes with a call to vote for Schaaf by November 4, 2025, highlighting the importance of parental involvement in education. Amy Pascal, a Colorado State representative, endorses Jackie Burhans for the D38 School Board Director position in District 3. Pascal highlights her 17 years of experience in Monument, where she relied on Burhans for accurate information regarding school district matters. Burhans has been actively involved in District 38 for over 20 years, participating as a parent, reporter, and taxpayer, and attending school board meetings to understand key issues. In addition to her school board involvement, Burhans contributes to the community through her work at Tri-Lakes Cares, assisting vulnerable residents in the area. Pascal emphasizes Burhans' dedication to community service and public education, asserting that she consistently shows up and puts in the necessary work. Gordon Reichel notes that volunteer construction engineers are working on designing privacy-assured, safe mixed-gender bathrooms and showers. While some support the idea of mixed-gender facilities, concerns about student safety and costs are significant. The estimated cost for remodeling each bathroom or shower is between $160 and $200 per square foot, which could be prohibitive without financial support. Student safety is emphasized as a primary responsibility of the district, with Ginger Schaaf being recognized for her commitment to this issue. In conclusion, Reichel endorses Schaaf because she prioritizes student safety. Dolly Rickerman's letter supports Ginger Schaaf candidacy for the D38 School Board, emphasizing her strong ties to the community and commitment to education. The author, a former military wife and teacher, praises D38's reputation and values, noting that the district remains a top choice for families. Schaaf, a conservative candidate, is described as an engaged mother who prioritizes parental involvement and supports local educational initiatives like Monument Academy. Schaaf advocates for safe spaces for girls and opposes inappropriate content in school libraries, while also favoring alternative funding methods to avoid raising property taxes. In conclusion, the letter encourages voters to support Schaaf as a candidate who embodies the traditional family values of the community and promotes safety and excellence in education. Amy Schertzer expresses strong support for Jackie Burhans as a candidate for the D38 School Board, highlighting her qualifications and dedication to the community. Schertzer recounts her first meeting with Jackie in 2015, noting Jackie's extensive volunteer work and commitment to improving the district. Burhans has dedicated thousands of hours to community service and possesses a deep understanding of the challenges facing public education, particularly in D38. Burhans' main priorities include supporting educators, maintaining academic excellence, expanding educational pathways, and promoting community collaboration and transparency. Schertzer says Burhans will bring a knowledgeable and balanced perspective, continuing her long-standing commitment to the Tri-Lakes community. Amy Stevens, former State House Majority Leader, notes that 79% of Americans believe that keeping biological males out of women's sports and facilities is crucial for the safety and privacy of girls and women. In Colorado, progressive lawmakers are promoting a gender ideology agenda that some argue undermines parental rights and religious freedoms. Stevens says the D38 School Board race presents a clear choice between progressive Jackie Burhans and conservative Ginger Schaaf, with Schaaf being favored by those prioritizing children's safety and educational integrity. Schaaf's platform emphasizes community values such as lower taxes, academic excellence, and school safety, and she has received endorsements from notable education leaders. Stevens says that in contrast, Burhans is associated with a network of leftist activists. Stevens urges voters to support Schaaf so she can bring sanity, accountability, and academic focus back to District 38. In a time when empathy is often challenged, Breen Brown emphasizes the importance of choosing courage, discipline, and kindness. As Thanksgiving approaches, several books are recommended to inspire gratitude and reflection. Matthew McConaughey's Poems and Prayers combines humor and honesty, encouraging readers to embrace the poetry of life beyond logic. Bird Taylor's The Table Where Rich People Sit teaches young readers about the true value of life through the eyes of a girl who learns to appreciate her family's wealth and experiences rather than money. Leland Viddert's Born Lucky serves as a motivational story for parents and children, detailing his journey through bullying and his transformation into a successful journalist. Brené Brown's Strong Ground offers essential leadership lessons and emphasizes the importance of respectful conversations in navigating today's complex work environments. Jan Karan's My Beloved presents a new Mitford novel where Father Tim's love letter goes missing, leading to humorous and poignant moments among his neighbors. David McCullough's History Matters highlights the significance of history in shaping our understanding of the present and future through a collection of essays and speeches. In conclusion, these diverse books provide valuable insights and reflections, perfect for the Thanksgiving season and beyond. The Monument and Palmer Lake Libraries will offer various programs in November, focusing on adult end-of-life care and caregiver support, alongside book groups and craft activities for all ages. The First Friday Friends of PPLD book group will meet on November 6 at the Monument Library, inviting attendees to discuss any book of their choice. A craft program for adults to create autumn wreaths will take place on November 8, with all materials provided and registration required. On November 14, homeschool students aged 8 to 12 can explore ancient cave paintings and create their own inspired artwork during a special program. Additionally, the Palmer Lake Library will host a caregiver support program on November 5, emphasizing the importance of self-care for those who care for others. The Palmer Lake Historical Society held a meeting on October 16, featuring guest speaker Tony Hamill, an author and former teacher with a background in American Studies. Hamill discussed her book, People of the Garden of the Gods, which draws on her experiences and research from archaeological projects in the area. The Garden of the Gods, a 1,364-acre park in Colorado Springs, was donated in 1909 with the promise of remaining a free public space and has a rich history dating back to prehistoric times. Evidence of early human activity in the park includes seasonal encampments and tools dating back to 250 BC, with connections to various Native American tribes, including the Ute and Cheyenne. Hamill's book captures the stories of Native Americans and early settlers, highlighting the park's significance and the awe it inspires in visitors today. Janet Sellers shares her gardening strategies for reducing lawn maintenance and enhancing soil health for the upcoming year. She suggests covering grassy weeds with layers of newspaper, cardboard, and pine needles to create soil ready for planting by spring. For year-round composting, Sellers recommends creating a compost pole using sticks and a mesh tube to allow air circulation without the need for turning the compost. Additionally, she outlines the steps to prepare a hugelkultur bed, which involves layering organic materials to retain moisture and improve soil fertility over time. Finally, Sellers emphasizes the benefits of using effective microorganisms to boost plant health and nutrient absorption in the garden. Art serves as a powerful medium for self-expression and storytelling, allowing creators to convey their thoughts and experiences without the need for words. Throughout history, art has been a silent witness to human existence, with the oldest known pieces dating back over 60,000 years, showcasing the deep connection between art and humanity. In today's visually driven society, art influences our perceptions and interactions, highlighting its role in communication and the collective consciousness of communities worldwide. Art possesses the unique ability to inspire change and challenge societal norms, making it a vital tool for activism and raising awareness about pressing issues. Additionally, engaging in creative activities like doodling can enhance problem-solving skills, demonstrating how art can also serve practical purposes in everyday life. Our community news is enhancing connections within the Tri-Lakes community through new interactive website features. The website now allows users to post questions and comments on various content, fostering engagement and conversation. OCN offers 2 audio content options, including brief AI-generated highlights and full verbatim readings, available on their website. Additionally, the community calendar is now online, making it easier for residents to find and add events to their personal calendars. In conclusion, OCN encourages community involvement through newsletters, a mobile app, and engaging multimedia content to keep everyone informed. Event listings may change, so verify details before attending. MVEA customers can save by switching to paperless billing through SmartHub. YMCA is offering winter youth basketball for ages 3 to 18, with early registration discounts. Drivers must stop for school buses with flashing lights to ensure student safety. Pedestrian fatalities in Colorado have risen significantly, prompting a safety campaign. Parents can find car seat inspection stations and assistance through various local programs. To prevent bear encounters, secure trash and consider bear-resistant containers. Seek shelter during thunderstorms, as lightning can strike unexpectedly. Lewis Palmer School District will provide no-cost meals for elementary students in the upcoming semester. The Trailability program offers off-road mobility vehicles for individuals with disabilities. NAMI offers a support group for parents of youth facing mental health challenges. Community volunteers are needed for various local projects, including gardening and historical preservation. Thank you for joining us for highlights from the articles and columns from this issue of OCN. To dive into the full articles and columns or explore more content, visit ocn.me. Don't miss out, sign up for our community newsletter to stay updated with every new post.